welcome back to the Chill and Chat talk show.
Yes, we are always happy to see you all. Oh, wait a sec. Let me get out my magic mirror. I see Barris. I see...
Okay.
Karen. What
does this mean? Like, what are you doing? I don't get it.
Do you not remember Romper Room?
No. Romper Room? What?
You know, the magic mirror, where she would take the magic mirror and she'd look and she'd say, oh, she could see who was watching the TV show.
No.
And you'd watch it and you're just waiting for her to call out your name because she sees you. You don't remember that?
No,
you didn't watch Romper Room?
No, I never watched Romper Room at all. I don't even know what you're talking about. Is this something from the 50s or?
No. I'm pretty sure it ended in the 90s, but I think it did start in the 50s. You know, it was the show that was on. You had to watch Romper Room and then The Friendly Giant just so you could watch Mr. Dress Up, which was the show everybody wanted to see.
Okay, you know, I wasn't even a morning person even as a kid, so I didn't even watch, you know, any of that. So I was probably sleeping.
Okay, we could have never shared a room when we were young because
goodness, no.
I woke up every morning happy and energetic, and I would say to my sister, who I shared a room with, it's such a lovely, lovely day. Good morning.
Karen, I feel so sorry for you. I would have been throwing things at you. That's way too much in the morning.
Yeah, actually, she did throw things at me sometimes.
Okay, I can believe that. Anyway, I've never heard of Romper Room. The only thing I know of is the Saturday, you know, morning cartoons, like not too early in the morning, and I'd have to say Scooby-Doo was my favorite.
Oh, I love Scooby-Doo.
Okay, there you go.
That was so much fun.
Anyway,
History.
So you know what? Let's change topics. So how are you feeling about the whole isolation thing again?
It's a little bit confusing. So many questions out there about what you can and can't do, but I think I got it down now.
Okay, well that's good.
How about you?
Well, obviously this whole, you know, thing is an extrovert's nightmare, but my wine consumption has gone up. So
speaking of wine, up next, Utterly Uncorked. Welcome to Utterly Uncorked. Doing something a little different today.
We
are in Cultus Lake.
Yes. We just finished a beautiful hike.
Yes, and so we thought, let's go check out this restaurant.
Yes.
The
Lakeside Beach Club.
Yes. Yeah. And so right in front of the fireplace, beautiful wine, and we are drinking the Red Rooster 2016 Cabernet Merlot. Now you'll find this one perched proudly on BC's scenic Narramatic bench.
Ooh.
I've gone there before. It's a great
Oh
wine.
yeah, absolutely. My old stomping grounds.
All right, well let's
okay. Swirl.
Swirl. I would say it's medium.
Okay.
It's medium bodied by the smell.
Yeah.
And the taste.
Very nice. This is more like cherries.
Cherries
Red berries.
and berries.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
lovely wine.
Very
Cheers.
Lovely. Cheers. And talking of Cultus Lake, this is such a great place here in Chilliwack. I keep forgetting about it because I don't
live that far
I don't
away.
have kids anymore, but when I had kids younger, it was a great place to bring them. We have the water slides here, we have the Giggle Ridge, and then of course is the wonderful playground at the Cultus Lake beach park. And yeah, it's a great
So much
place.
to do here.
Yeah.
And there's lots of people kayaking and waterboarding. What do you call that?
Paddleboarding.
Paddleboarding, that's it. Obviously I haven't done it yet.
Yeah. And I have lots of memories of the Cultus Lake water slides.
Okay, let's tell your memory about that.
Oh, there was one, I think it was called the Valley of Death or something. I don't know, it was one that was
Sounds like a
straight down where it kind of goes like this. And I remember all my friends who were down at the bottom just waiting for me to do it because I was so scared. And I did it. But the most embarrassing thing happened.
Oh no, Jenny, what happened?
As I came down to the bottom, my whole top was like ripped off.
Like ripped completely off?
Well, just like lifted up.
Lifted up,
Yes.
no coverage.
It was so horrifyingly embarrassing.
How many friends were there?
Too many.
I've done that before too.
Yes.
I have my water skiing story,
Oh
which
yes,
is like
we'll have to
even
hear
worse.
that one day.
Yes.
Ooh. Anyway.
I think that one's worse. But
anyway, great little place, Cultus Lake in Chilliwack.
cheers. I loved that Cabernet Merlot from Red Rooster.
That was absolutely awesome. And the Lakeside Beach Club. I mean, I haven't been there for years, and it was such a great atmosphere, and the service was wonderful. Loved it.
And the pie.
Oh my goodness, the pie.
That was so good.
That was absolutely delicious and made by our own Chilliwack lady, Natasha Popoff.
Pop-Up. Is she related to our American Pop-Up?
She sure is, sister and brother. So check out Facebook, Natasha's Baked Goods.
Anyways, we've got mail, Jenny.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to read the first one,
Okay.
if that's okay. All right.
Always okay.
Dear Trish and Jenny, I'm wondering what type of books do you read? And do you have any recommendations? Sincerely, James from California.
Oh, California.
I know, we're very far outreaching, aren't we?
Yes, that's amazing. Well, I mean, for me, I love to read at night. Like, that's how I fall asleep. I
Yeah?
have to read. Otherwise, my mind's just like going miles a minute. So
Really?
I read, and I read like psycho killer murder books. That's my favorite. So I'd have to say Patricia Cornwall, Sandra Brown, Lisa Jackson, Iris Johansen. Those are all my favorites.
They're all women writers.
Yes.
That's very interesting.
Yes.
Okay,
But
so
it's the best way to fall asleep.
I could never fall asleep. That just sounds like a nightmare. I'd have nightmares watching those or reading those
No,
kind
it
of books
actually relaxes
afterwards.
me. Totally relaxes me.
Okay, I think you might have missed your calling. You should have been a detective.
Yeah, that would have been fun.
Yes. Anyways, I don't read a lot of fiction. I really enjoy reading. What's so funny? I like reading.
Actually, I don't even know if I've
teaching-
ever actually seen you read a book before.
What do you mean? Of
Like,
course I
honestly.
read. No, I read things. I like to read inspirational books and teaching books.
Right,
Teaching
okay.
and training
Right.
books. And one of my favorite books is Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki.
Yes, that's a good
Oh
one.
my goodness, I loved it so much. And Bruce did too. We went out and bought his game Cash Flow.
Oh, they have a game?
It's
that's
a game
cool.
and it teaches
Yeah.
you how to do well with finances. And then there was a
Nice.
video version and there was a board version. We used to
Do you
play
still have it?
I do. We used to
that'd
play
be
it
fun.
with the kids all
I
the time.
never knew there was a game. That's really
yeah,
good. That's
it
a
was
great way
really
to,
good.
show the kids how to.
Yeah.
learn about
Yeah, absolutely.
money.
So yeah, those are the kind of books I like.
Okay.
How about we read the next one?
Okay. Dear Trish and Jenny, do either of you have nicknames as kids or even now as adults? Regards, Mary from Hope. From Hope.
that's a good
little closer
question.
From
Did you have a
California.
nickname?
The only nickname that I can actually really think of that just was in grade 7. It was actually from my grade 7 teacher, Mr. Eldridge, I think his name was. Anyway, my last name was Wood, so they called me Wood Tick.
Wood Tick. Your
Tick.
teacher started that.
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay, Wood Tick.
Yes, not really, exciting, but I mean, I
Nothing
can't think of
exciting,
anything
yeah.
in high school or anything like that. But yeah, so Wood Tick in grade 7.
Wow, just one
Yeah.
year.
Yeah,
Just 1 year.
1 year.
All right.
1 year as a Wood Tick. Yeah. What about you?
I did have one in high school. I don't really like it though.
What was it?
I was called Patricia because that's my name. Patricia Delicia.
Oh, well, that's a lot more sexier than Wood Tick.
Okay, apparently there's some song out there about a lady named Patricia Delicia. She was a stripper.
Oh, okay, well, maybe that.
Yeah, I didn't really like that nickname when I was a kid because I was definitely not a stripper,
Well,
just saying. Okay.
Yes, definitely not.
Anyways, are we ready for our guest?
Yes, we will be chatting with Rachel Caroline Plaza, longtime resident of Chilliwack, longtime member of the Chilliwack Players Guild Theater Company, actor and artist, mother of 3 grown children, and cancer survivor.
And the co-host
The most important
of Chilliwack Tonight. I think I did that pretty good, right?
You were good, yes. But first, a word from our sponsor.
Welcome, Rachel.
Thanks for having me, ladies. This is refreshing. I'm hanging out with the girls. I like this.
Right. And we're with the star of chillTV's hit show, Chilliwack Tonight. So maybe share a bit about yourself.
Okay. I've lived in Chilliwack for about 20 years. I am a single mother to 3 amazing children. Albeit 2 are now adults, so they're making their way out of the house. I've been involved with the Chilliwack Players Guild for about 16, 17 years now. I've worked for Elections Canada. I've had my hand in different social matters in our community, and I'm also an actor periodically in the city of Vancouver. So, and I'm doing, obviously, Chilliwack Tonight right now.
You're busy.
So,
Yeah. Yes, well, I love you on Chilliwack Tonight.
Thank you.
You are the star.
You are the star.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that. That all started, obviously, during COVID, when Jeff Edwards got a hold of me to record in the house when we were quarantining. So I started out with the Co-Video Corner with Rachel Caroline Plaza, where I would show funny videos and things like that.
Well, this is much more fun here.
It is. I'm having a really good time. Yeah.
So, we're going to talk about a recent DNA test that you took.
Yes.
So, could you tell us a little bit about that and your results?
Yes. So that has been on my mind for a number of years, and it's only been in the last however many years where the average person can just purchase one of those DNA kits and get them delivered, and you can do your own and get the results and have some of your own ancestry questions answered. So back in May, my daughter gifted me with the 23andMe DNA kit, and I was excited to have it, but it took me a while to get, I guess, muster up the courage in order to actually take the test, only because sometimes there's things maybe you don't necessarily want to know, but you kind of have to sit with it for a bit. So with this kit, I got the ancestry plus the health portion of it. So it would kind of answer your questions with more of your maybe more predisposed conditions.
I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I did the Ancestry.com, but it was just about ancestry. So this is also about health.
Exactly.
Ooh, that's awesome.
And it definitely goes into a lot more details, like things that maybe you have food aversions to or allergies.
Oh, my goodness.
It talks, I mean,
Wow.
It says, I told that I had dark hair and dark eyes, that I was more on the leaner, taller side. And it's like, this is amazing. So it also just gave me more information of maybe how to live a healthier lifestyle to stave off any of those conditions that I may be predisposed to. One of them being like macular degenerative disease in my eyes, so I'm at high risk for that, but it tells you like what to do, what to eat, how to exercise your eyes, things like that.
I definitely need to do that.
So there's areas that you knew that was a possibility to have this disease, and you're going to do things. You're going to work harder to make sure.
Yeah, I mean, it gives you some more information on how to.
Have.
Yeah. And obviously the other part was the ancestry. To it all.
Well, tell us what motivated you to actually take the test.
Well, in my personal situation, I wasn't raised with my father. So, and there's a lot of questions to that because I did meet him once, but only once, and I've never had pictures of him. There was a bit of me feeling like the black sheep in my family, not really looking like my mother or my brother, and I just always had these questions. So, not that the DNA would answer that, but maybe give me, knowing his background, then it could kind of confirm what I'd always kind of been told, that this matched up. So I was told that I was part Polish-Italian on his side and full Scottish on my mother's side.
Italian.
Yeah.
That's so exciting.
I know. It's kind of exotic.
Yes,
so I was always, and I grew up in a predominantly Polish-Italian community back in Ontario, and I just felt like this affinity to that culture. And I mean, I kind of look a little bit, you just kind of like, and people too would say, they couldn't quite place me as far as my looks goes or my ethnic origin. And they say, are you Aboriginal? Are you First Nations? So that always played into it too. So I just wanted to have those answered or questions answered for myself. So
now I understand you have a video explaining your story, and you call it "Crazy Reasons Why I Need to Do the 23andMe Test."
yes.
And you have a clip for us.
Yes, I do. So I just decided, I think more for cathartic reasons, I decided to make a video. Now, for me, there wasn't really any quick way to sum it up and kind of get it all out. So it does end up being about a 48-minute long video.
Yeah. But we're not going to show that. We're just going to
Not going to show that. No, absolutely.
Just intro clip.
So we'll be right back after this clip.
I know that I have to do a saliva test for this. I have a little bit of saliva. I have enough saliva to get me through the day, but when I had my cancer, I did have radiation, severe radiation. You do a bunch of stuff online beforehand. There's a barcode. It is specific for you. You have to register, have your own account. You send everything off in the biohazard bag. You have your barcode. It's definitely very safe and private. Even though they have your DNA, I don't care. Basically, I'm an open book. Have my DNA. I am really fascinated, always identifying as an Italian Polish woman on my dad's side. From when I was a little girl being called like little Italian princess to, Sophia Loren when I was being overly dramatic, and just really, really, it went with my whole identity crisis, was just glomming onto the whole Polish Italian ethnic vibe that I loved so, and I was fortunate enough to kind of grow up around those communities.
Welcome back, and what a great clip. I can't wait to watch the fuller version.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you. I mean, there was really no way to do it other than, it is a bit long, but it's just, I couldn't just sum up this long life story of mine. So, yeah.
Excellent.
So back to the DNA test. What were some exciting things you found out with your DNA test?
Well, years ago, I discovered, about 11 years ago, I discovered that I had a full-blooded brother who was given up for adoption prior to me.
That would be very exciting.
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge.
Yeah.
It's like, not only do we have one birth parent, but we have the same birth parents. And it was amazing when we met. It was lovely. It was like this, I found a missing piece. We look alike. We had these similar mannerisms. So there's a lot to be said about nurture versus nature, right? When you meet somebody like this, and even though they
you didn't look like your mom and your siblings there, so this was now finding your full blood brother, and you had the same look. Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And later on, a few years ago, he did his own DNA test, way before I did mine, which was recent. And doing my own test, I was able to, look at them side by side and kind of match them up. I mean, we're not twins or anything, but they are definitely going to be similar, and they were. So that helped. And with meeting my birth father, that just solidified some things for me too. With meeting him and putting some things to rest. I just, we were just struggling with some sort of identity. And I know that a lot of kids who are adopted out and don't always have the opportunity to meet their birth parents sometimes want those questions answered as well.
It's important information to know.
Yeah, absolutely.
About your inside what's happening, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Nice.
It's nice. And also being a mother myself and, just giving them, it's funny because I married a Polish person. Now they're even more Polish.
Oh,
both of us.
Interesting, because you said you gravitate to that.
Yes, yeah. And
so interesting.
I've always been fascinated with World War II. And when I did meet my father, he had a big picture behind him of this black and white photo of a man in uniform, and I asked him, who that was. And he said, well, it's my father from the Polish army, and he defected and went over to Italy, I guess, where he met my grandmother. Yeah. But I've always been drawn to that, the history, Holocaust, the war, and it turns out in my DNA, I have a couple percentages of Ashkenazi Jew in me, so that's like really fascinating. I hope I'm saying that right.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that history.
Wow.
So yeah.
Well, tell us about your dad, because you said you didn't know him, and then you did meet him. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, that was it. Yeah. We didn't exactly plan this meeting. So when we did
you
go,
just showed up?
we did just show up.
Sometimes
But
you
it's
have to do
not
that.
like he didn't know me. So years prior, when I was 29, I was diagnosed with cancer at that time. And it was my mother who reached out to him and talked with him about this. So later I felt comfortable enough to reach out myself and introduce myself. And it was cordial, it was nice. And, but we kind of just left it at that. And then again, fast forward years later, when I met the full-blooded brother, we both decided to, this was out in Ontario, to pay a visit and introduce ourselves.
I love it.
So it's not exactly how you should go about things. You don't want to ambush anybody, but we just felt kind of strongly about this. And, you know, we introduced ourselves. We told them we come in peace, you know, we're no threat. Yeah. But we just wanted to find some missing pieces.
And how did he take that? How did he respond?
He was a little, I mean, how...
Yeah.
When you have two adult children come and tell you that, you know, we're your long lost kids, it's a lot for someone to take. By that time, he had already been remarried with grown children. Right. So it wasn't like the best, I mean, reunion. I don't even think you'd call it that. But he was lovely, and he was kind enough to have us in his home and just have us kind of put a face to the name, or in my case, kind of just growing up, always looking for somebody who looked like me.
Yeah, so did he look like you then?
He did. He did. He was a little shorter because both my brother and I are quite tall, but maybe that's the Italian or something. I don't know, and maybe that's also from my mother's side. But it was good. However, some people just don't want to dive into their past, and we just let it go from there. But at least we got to meet him. So.
Was it worth it, the visit then?
I would say so, just because I think I'd always be wondering, so I can kind of put that chapter away now.
So one more question. What was the name of the test again, and how much was it, and how does someone get it?
Right, so there's a number. You did the Ancestry.com.
Yes, and now I want to do this because I'm also curious to
the health end of things. Yes.
Well, the health end for sure, and then to compare the two and see. You know, that would be interesting to see if they're both similar.
Yeah, exactly. And I'd be interested in doing the MyHeritage too for that same sort of reason. So there's MyHeritage, My Ancestry, yours, and I did the 23andMe. DNA kit. I believe with the health, it costs about $250. You can get it through Amazon. And the one with just the ancestry is a bit less. Right. But I think it's worth getting.
I think it's worth.
I think so too.
I am ordering that today.
Yes. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
I was going to say, actually, I found out in the DNA that I'm the love child of Bears Cardin and Jeff Edwards, but I won't go there. They might not appreciate it.
All right. That would be shocking news.
Yes, shocking news.
Flashing news.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Chatting with us today.
Thank you.
And up next, Treasure Trails. Just a little prelude to our hike today.
Yeah, it's always good to have a coffee with your hike.
Yes, I haven't gotten mine yet. It's a little more complicated.
Yes, always more complicated. Everything is more complicated with her.
Welcome to Treasure Trails. We're in Cultus Lake.
On this beautiful sunny day, and we're going to enjoy a little hike along the path here
by the lake in front of all the beautiful homes.
I think it's more like a stroll, though.
That is a stroll.
Cheers. Let's see who can go higher, Jenny.
Oh, competition.
Competition.
Who's higher?
I am. I got longer legs.
Doug?
Go for the
Who's higher?
higher so far.
No, I don't
Yes.
think so, Doug.
Totally.
Look at this. Okay, where were these when our kids were
I know,
little?
that is
This
so
is like the
cute.
coolest thing. You put your baby right here. You're
And you look at
swinging.
them, you swing. How sweet is that?
I love it. Jenny, do you want to try getting in?
Not after,
Not after the last time?
that was dangerous.
We're ready to hide the treasure.
And so exciting, this week's treasure is a gift certificate for one float at the Float House, Abbotsford.
And what's the value of that, Jenny?
The value is $84 and it's the most amazing experience. Good way to relax.
All right, so let's hide it.
Okay, Oak Street and First Avenue at Cultus Lake. So, anybody around? Ow!
So beautiful.
Well, that's it. End of our trail at the Cultus Lake Park.
It's more like a stroll, a Sunday stroll.
Happy treasure hunting!
What a great Sunday stroll. The float plane, the paddle boarding, the kayaking, the water, loved it all.
Yes, Cultus Lake, so beautiful. You have the mountains and the lake, and I love, walking by all those little different houses. Had some of the older homes that have been there from the very beginning, like the old homesteads,
Yes.
and then of course some of those beautiful architecturally designed
No,
homes.
it just made you want to buy one of them and live there. Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
well, that would be great.
Well, speaking of architectural designed homes, I think I said that wrong. How is your new house coming along in Lake Country?
Well, I mean, the footings are in, and they're pouring concrete next tomorrow, I think it is. Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's way too fast. Way too fast.
I could call them to tell them to slow down if you want.
Yes, please.
All right.
Anyways, what's on for next week?
So we're going to be interviewing Leah Bergen, who has worked extensively in communications, education, and training throughout her career. She's passionate about social and emotional intelligence and equipping others.
And next week we'll hear all about her exciting venture coming up.
Big news.
Yes.
Anyway, so we'd like to say to our audience, if you have any questions or feedbacks or requests for topics, email chillandchattv@gmail.com.
Until next time.
Cheers! Keep chilling and chatting!